Yeah. Okay. So we're going to stick with the toe stabs, and we're going to move on now to more of a roundhouse toe stab. So if Rayhan's out, so this time maybe we're throwing just a traditional roundhouse kick, but Rayhan, he's keeping this elbow nice and tight. So even if we spin here, so if I just throw my roundhouse, but he's keeping that elbow nice and tight into his body, so I'm hitting his forearm with my shin. So I'm not doing a whole lot of damage. So what I can start to look at is you'll see even when he's got that elbow in tight, there's some space here for his ribs and stuff. So what I can do is, again, I'm going to pinch my toes together. Again, I pinch my toes together to reinforce my toes so that I don't end up bending them backwards or anything like that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to throw that exact same roundhouse kick, only instead of extending my toes and just hitting his forearm with my shin, I'm going to keep my toes bent. I'm going to flex them so they're nice and tight, and then I'm going to stick my toes into his ribs around his forearm. So same thing, I can set it up off a jab, cross, hook, whatever I want, and then I'm going to throw that same roundhouse, but see my toes are going to be pointed out. So my shin didn't even touch his forearm because I have my toes digging into his ribs. So I'm here, however I want to set it up. Maybe I throw a couple of traditional roundhouse kicks. I'm hitting his elbow and it's not really working. So now I'm going to flex my toes really hard and I'm going to throw the exact same kick, and now my toes are going to stick into his ribs. And again, we can target this a little bit lower for the floating ribs. You know, depending on what you're doing, we can aim for the kidneys. Again, I set it up with whatever combination I want. See, you kind of hear it a little bit. You hear it? Another one. So just make sure you're flexing your toes really tight. If your toes are a little more flexible, you can try and curl them back and land with the ball of your foot. My toes don't bend like that anymore, so I just flex them and use the tip of my toe. If you can curl them back, you can try using the ball of your foot or just flex them. Again, nice and light with your partner. Think about more about like target practice. You're trying to find those floating ribs with that big toe. Just like that, just a traditional roundhouse kick, landing with the toe in the floating ribs. So let's try that. We'll clap 2 times. 1, 2.